Come with me this morning into our garden. Well, we have our shears and we have our colander, and we get some basil so that we can make some basil pesto today. When you go to make your pesto, you're going to be looking for the freshest basil that you can find in your garden. You can use a little bit of the stem as long as it's not woody, but look for the most healthy looking ones that you can find, like these right here, and then you'll go ahead and clip those off so that you can put them in your blender. There we have our fresh basil straight out of the garden. Now we're going to take it in the house and wash it off and get ready to make our homemade pesto. The very first thing you're going to do to make your pesto is you're going to take your garden fresh basil and you're going to rinse it off with water to make sure that it's very clean before you put it into your blender. After you wash it, you'll take the basil and you'll look to find the ones maybe that have holes in them. You need to pull that part off where an insect has been. You'll pull that part off. You can use the stems if they're not real woody. This one's a little woody, so I'd probably just use these skinnier stems on here, and I would just pull these off and put them over here for a minute while you sort through all your basil and find the best pieces to go into your pesto. So now that you've washed your basil, you're going to be making your pesto in your blender. So what you're going to do first is you're going to chop the nuts in your blender, and they can be any kind of nuts that you would like to use. I'm going to use chopped walnuts. So I'm going to put those in my blender, and I'm also going to put in my lemon juice, and that is 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I'm going to put in my garlic, and this will be 1 small garlic clove. The next thing you're going to add is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And the last thing you're going to do is just shake a little bit of pepper in there. Okay, and then you're ready to blend it. After you've blended those ingredients together, the next thing that you're going to add is your basil leaves. And you'll do 2 cups of the basil leaves, and that will go into the blender. After that, you're going to slowly add your oil. And on mine, I'm going to add it through the top, or I can take off this part on the top and just put it on here like this. And as the basil is blending, I'm going to slowly pour the oil in the top. After you've blended all your basil leaves in, it will look a little bit like this. If you find that it's too thick and hard to blend, then you may need to add a little more olive oil. Or if you're using a blender like I have, a Vitamix, you can use this to help to blend the basil in with the other ingredients. Okay, the last thing that you're going to add to your pesto is you're going to add some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and that will be 1/4 of a cup. And then you'll blend that again. After you've blended your pesto and all the ingredients together, then you'll put it in a jar. It makes about 1 cup, and this will last for 1 to 2 weeks in the fridge, or you can freeze it for about 2 to 3 months if you would like to keep it longer. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a little bit of this homemade sourdough bread, and it's delicious.